Good morning, my beautiful friends. Good morning, good morning. This is your wake up call with Maui Paul, and we are here to say some nice things about ourselves. So thank you guys so very much for those of you who share this stream. Y'all rock. I was looking at my metrics, which are not super easy to find because of the fact that I do this on a personal Facebook page typically. But I was looking at my metrics, and yeah, we are once again at around about 1,000 people. So how cool that is! Thank you for being a part of sharing this message across the internet. Y'all rock. All right, so if you've been here before, and you probably have been, you know that we are going to be going through my I Am deck. This deck is full of amazing positive affirmations. So I'm going to ask you if you are the affirmation on the deck. You're going to respond out loud, I am the affirmation on the deck. Then we're going to write it down in the comments and affirm it for each other. I love what this turns into. So let's have some fun by saying right now that I am authentic. I am authentic. I live my truth, and my genuine nature is valued. So I am authentic. I live my truth, and my genuine nature is valued. Are you authentic? You are authentic. You live your truth, and your genuine nature is valued. When this card came up, I immediately went back to maybe about 15, somewhere between 15 and 20 years ago, probably closer to 15 years ago. I was sitting on top of a mountain in Costa Rica partying with some people. And this was a different kind of party than one I had ever been to. I mean, I had lived a fairly normal life until I quit my job and moved to Costa Rica and lived on top of a mountain for a while. But that's another story entirely. But I was really taken aback by all of these people from completely different backgrounds. We were all up there partying, and it was everything from hippies to music producers to small business owners. All of us were just kind of drawn there because it's a beautiful place, and we all just needed to relax. Some of us needed to relax more than others. I think perhaps most of all, I needed to relax, which is why I was there. But what was really interesting is that I was sitting around a fire, and we were just partying, and we were just being ourselves. Well, everybody was being themselves except me. And as I looked around at these people who I admired, even though they were very different than me, and in many cases, like they hadn't achieved what I had achieved, and yet I admired their authenticity. I admired their ability to just be themselves. And I thought in my own head, I said, everybody else here is having a good time being themselves, being their authentic selves, being very different from each other. There was no homogeneity in that group. And here I am trying to be somebody else, and it's exhausting. And so I decided to just be myself. I decided to just to not care anymore what other people thought about me. And it has been one of the most epic things that I ever did. So I'm going to write down in the comments that I am authentic. And I'd love for you guys to write down in the comments as well that you are authentic. Let's take that thought form from a vibration you're hearing through your computer screen, and let's turn it into something that we think about, something that we actually have to take and put into our brains and then put through our fingers and then put it into our keyboard so we can see it with our eyes. These things become real when we make them real. And the first creation is to think it. The second creation is to do it. So I encourage you guys to partake of that second creation, the doing. We can think about things all day long, but they don't become real until we actually do something about them. So I am authentic, and you are authentic too. In fact, I find that at this point in my life, I am surrounded by authentic people, to the point where I met an inauthentic person a couple weeks back, and it was such a jarring experience for me that this person was not being authentic. It was really obvious. In them, I saw myself from 15 years ago, and I really felt for them. But at the same time, I knew that they would learn how to become authentic. They would learn how to embrace who they truly were and not trying to please everybody else around them in due time on their own schedule. There was nothing that I could say that was going to help them to do it. But perhaps if they, or if anybody else who is like them, sees this video, that they will be able to recognize their own inauthenticity and be boldened and receive the courage necessary to just live authentically The world does not want a carbon copy of itself. The world wants us as we are, and we just have to be bold enough and brave enough to be that, to embody that. So thanks, guys, so very much for coming over here and hanging out with me for a little while and affirming our authenticity together. You guys are amazing. You are the reason I do this, so thank you so very much for being here. I will be back on Monday at 9 a.m. on Facebook Live, and I will be, once again going through the this I Am deck. But Saturday, Sunday, I take the day off, so enjoy your Saturday and your Sunday, and of course, enjoy your Friday. Aloha from paradise.